4.250.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Traveling Economist. Today we are on our way to Ransi. From Ukhimat, we have got into a shuttle with some fellow travelers who are also going with us to Ransi. Now why Ransi? Because Ransi is the place that we will start our trek to Madmaheshwar. Now Madmaheshwar is one of the sacred peaks of Panch Kedar route. As the story goes, that when the Pandavas were in exile after the war, Lord Shiva was very angry with them, and as a result, he was always eluding them, and the Pandavas wanted to go to him to beg forgiveness. So while the Pandavas were in exile, they caught sight of Nandi, where Shiva was hiding in the appearance of Nandi. And when Nandi realized that he has been caught, he started eluding them. And it is said that he dived inside the earth, and from him 5 different parts emerged. In Madhyamaheshwar, it is said that the belly or navel of Nandi is found. As an ardent devotee of Shiva, I have always wanted to visit this place. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this story. It was only when my dad told me about it that I realized I had to go to this place. And knowing that this was the perfect way to have some father daughter bonding, we were directly on our way to Madmaheshwar. Now, mind you, this was in 2023 and the roads were still not that good, but it was more or less a peaceful journey from Ukhimat to Ransi. And can you see the scenery, the roaring rivers? This was just perfect for us.
Hello everyone. So, after starting from Ukhimat, right now we are finally in Ransi and we are starting our trek to Madmaheshwar. It's exciting. So it's an 18-kilometer trek and all. We were hoping to reach, we were hoping first like we might take a horse and cover the 18-kilometer completely today. But let's just say the horses are too pricey. They are charging 5,000 for the whole ride, which is a tad too much. But then again, this is a very remote place. Not many people venture in these areas, especially because of the fact that the land is not completely, good for conveyance and everything. So for now, we have started. The plan is like we're gonna cover halfway and stop either in Gundur or some place close by. So the target for today is 10 kilometers. And let's just say if Shivji permits, maybe we will complete the 18-kilometer trek and reach Madmaheshwar by evening today. But let's just not, dwell much on it and start on the trek. So wish us luck. And let's just give you a glimpse of how the road looks like. So this is it. My dad's already like far ahead of me. Oh, there is not much road per se. So we had a slight disruption before the very start. We were not very sure which road to take because there's this road and then there's this road, but okay, let's hope for the best. I can find horse hooves here, so this is it, I guess. यही रास्ता है दीदी? हाँ, यही रास्ता है। ठीक है जी, आप भी सावधानी से जाइए। So this is the road, as you can see, or whatever you want to call it, path. It stretches like that. Not a lot of people comes down to Madmaheshwar. The basic reason being that despite being part of the Panch Kedar, this is not a very veritable route to take. It's dangerous for people who do not have better understanding of these roads or haven't trekked for long distances. I will not say that I'm an experienced individual, but I'm not an amateur either. So but then again, if you love adventure and are someone who takes a day at a time, this is it for you too. So 4.250 kilometers, Nanu 9 kilometers, Madmaheshwar 14 something, 14.550. It's actually not clear. So I think it will be Nanu for us, since we are hoping to cover half the road today or more than half. I wish I could get the beautiful smell that is there of nature around me out to you through these videos. But well, you just have to experience it, or just think about it for yourselves, imagine it. Since this is like going to be my very first series of vlogs, despite traveling for so long, the only videos that I've had are like, mostly fragmented and not done nicely. So I'll say sorry to the viewers from before. If there's any mistake in there, please ignore this amateur individual. All I want to convey to you through these vlogs is the beauty that there is when you're traveling the Indian mountains. Oh wow, look at that. Oh, look at that view. It is these reasons or these visuals that actually motivates any individual to go for these treks. Look at the path. Honestly, now that I'm going through this road, I'm very sure I did the correct thing in not taking a horse, because I don't trust horses' hoofs. No matter how sure-footed they are, I'll rather trust my own two meager human legs instead. Oh damn, look at that. My God, who will say that my father is, on the brink of touching his 61st birthday, and here I am, almost half his age, and so far behind. Shame on you, Xiaomi, shame on you. So what I'm gonna do is just hope I'm sure-footed and enjoy this as much as possible. Look at that. Oh my God. Just look at that. Bam bhole, bam bhole, bam bhole.
চার কিলোমিটার দূরে একটা গ্রাম নানু
4 কিলোমিটার পরে গুঙ্গুর, তারপর 9 কিলোমিটারের মাথায় নানু. So we have traveled for 1.5 kilometers up till now. The road actually slopes completely downhill. Haven't seen anything uphill up till now. In fact, in the midst we were also thinking whether we are on the right track or not. But still we could find horses' hooves. They were completely fresh, so our instincts are like, yeah, we are on the right path. But goddamn, this is gonna be a great adventure. Baba, be very careful. Oh god damn.
সব দেখলে সব কষ্ট দিবে না সব দেখলে সব কষ্ট দিবে
Look at that. Be very careful. Yeah, there are horses' hooves here. We are on the right path, Baba. Okay. I'm gonna click some pictures there. Of course I am. Just now, like my father said, it is these things that actually makes everything worthwhile. And you know, like, it doesn't matter what the end destination is. Look at my dad. He's so happy. Oh. Oh wow. Oh wow, look at that. We have crossed the majestic waterfalls and on our way to our first stop, which is Gungur. I'm finding that the road here is currently uphill. Can't believe I've crossed all that mountain.
Once we crossed the waterfall, we went directly on to Gundur, but all we did was take some pictures there and had some tea and snacks. Because we were on a tight schedule, we had to leave for Nanu right away. Now this is where we got a huge reality check. On paper, 4 kilometers is nothing in the city on plain road. It might seem even trivial or minute, but in the mountains, the story is completely otherwise. I realized exactly when I reached Gundur how badly out of shape I was. It was simply through sheer willpower that I was being able to walk each of those steps. And I had to commend my father because that man has both of his limbs broken before and he's still walking without any support and with that heavy backpack. That man has more willpower than energy than me, I tell you that. So if you are someone who is planning on visiting Madhyamaheshwar and you're thinking that you're gonna, walk the whole way, then you need to be in shape. You need to be able to walk at least 4 to 5 kilometers on an uphill slope daily. And the only solace for us in this case was that the beautiful view was there to soothe us. The people at Gundur were so warm and loving and so kind. We had such a nice chat with the owner of a tea stall where we had some tea and snacks. I kind of regret now not taking a video of that man. His words were so wise and so encouraging, and these men walk every day from Ransi to Gundur just to get their daily essentials, and they are just so happy and satisfied. It was the nature around me, I think, that kept me powering through, and the water flowing, the green nature, and I was chasing butterflies at some point, and that is what made this all the more beautiful. I want you guys to feel that peace and solace when you listen to the natural sounds, and which is the reason I am going to keep my talking to a minimum unless there are important tidbits that I want you guys to know if you are intent on traveling to Madhyamaheshwar.
हर हर महादेव।
हर हर महादेव। बाबा कहाँ के रहने वाले? कलकत्ता।
और क्या
कहाँ पे?
सामने गंडे में।
तो यहाँ करके तुम जो अभी
बाहर क्या करेगा, ज़्यादा खाएगा ना ऐसे नहीं कर सकेगा। चाचा जी
कल आएंगे यहाँ पर।
ज़्यादा मुझे अंदर में आना है।
कल आज ऊपर रास्ते में रहना है।
रात में हो सकता है चला जाएगा तो क्या जाएगा, तो नानू में रहेगा।
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है। अरे समय यहाँ पर आना, तेरे यहाँ पर चाय पानी काम है तेरा नीचे वहाँ वो आगे ना ये क्या? हाँ जी आगे है। अरे तुम सब फूलों से खा
यहाँ नानू कितना चार, नानू कितना
नानू चार 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 हो बोला। हाँ यहाँ पर भी है ना दो लो यहाँ भी है खुद
ये
खाना।
बंतोली है ना,
ये असली बंतोली तो यही है।
एक इतना तो पूरे नहीं थोड़े चीज को
खाली
ये लोअर बंतोली
हाँ ये लोहार तो ये असली बंतोली यही है पूरा चीज।
और ऊपर का
वो तो अभी आप बनाए वहाँ पर लो लूट का हुआ वो वहाँ बंतोली
यहाँ तो संगम में तीर्थ है। अभी तो रहे तुम भी यार, या कौन आर मारे खा रहे हैं या नहीं आ रहे हैं? चाय पानी रोज होगा। आज नाम तो नाम से आगे है ना, नाम का रोटी है एक मैं समझ सकती हूँ। अरे एक पून चट्टी है, पून चट्टी से लास्ट है। पहले तो खटारा खा लो गया 2 किलोमीटर, 2 किलोमीटर पर खटारा खा, उसके बाद नानू चट्टी 4.5 किलोमीटर है ना, उसके बाद मैं कमा 1 किलोमीटर, उसके बाद पून चट्टी 1 किलोमीटर, 3 किलोमीटर पून चट्टी से मंदिर बस।
अभी देखता है कितना दूर
आ
जा सकता
जाते
है।
हैं
तो अभी 4 किलोमीटर नानू तक तो जाना ही पड़ेगा।
ओ आराम से जाएंगे।
हाँ
आराम
जी,
से,
हाँ
आराम ऐसा नहीं, नो टेंशन है बाबा।
बम भोले बोल के चलना पड़ेगा।
तुम जहाँ जाओ वहाँ रहने की खाने की पूरी व्यवस्था है, ऐसा नहीं है कि
अभी ना खा नहीं सकते, इतना चल रहा है ना, अगर कुछ भी खाएंगे वो उल्टी हो जाएगी।
तब भी थोड़ा बहुत जो भी नाश्ता
रेस्ट का, हाँ जी हाँ जी।
हाँ, कुछ ककड़ी मकड़ी खा के।
अरे हम लोग का है ना, हम लोग तो 1 किलोमीटर 1 घंटे से जा रहे हैं।
ऐसे होते बाबा, कलकत्ता के लोग बहुत लोग आते नहीं इधर,
ऐसे ऐसे चलो भाई।
आस्ते आस्ते चलते रुक रुक के। अरे कहीं लोग कैसे हो जाएंगे, बहुत बढ़िया वातावरण हो। कोई अभी 2 लेडीज गए ना आई मैंने ऐसे बोला, बाबा कैसे जाए, अरे राम तू इतने दूर आ रहे क्या बोल रहे थे, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ।
अरे नहीं नहीं छोड़ो जी।
अब बाबा ऐसा है कि ये भी मुलाकात बोले कि दरवाजे चल रहे हैं।
Conversations with this kind man provided us with some better insight regarding how to reach Madmaheshwar and what kind of weather we can get that day, because the sky was already showing signs of cloud, which meant that there were going to be some amount of rain. So this man was kind enough to not only tell us about the weather but also give us some insight about the mandir timings, and that if we shouldn't take any risk and stay at Khadara instead of Nanu, because with the pace we were going it would be another 3 to 3.5 hours before we can reach Nanu itself. I think this is the kindness of Pahari people, and I was completely blown away by the kindness. But we will have to stop this part of the video here. Stay tuned for the second part of when we reach Madmaheshwar. Bye.